Hello, hello. It's me, Queen PR, one half of those wrestling girls. And this is an exciting night. It's a Monday night, and I am hosting a special stream, which is a first for me. Because I wanted to, hey Matt. So this is when I say a special stream, I mean this is not open to everyone. This is open to just my VIP, and Matt is absolutely one of those people. Thank you for coming. So this is the pilot episode. Hi, Brian H. Waters. This is the pilot episode of what I want to call Where WWE Meets Pop Culture Live. I have to say it like that. Because I really am passionate about the ways that WWE is infiltrating the mainstream. We just watched Who Killed WCW on Vice. And it really just brought me back to that time during the Monday Night Wars and even like the golden age with Hogan. Like the fact that wrestling now is a part of like everyday conversation again. And you can go to so many different outlets in pop culture right now and see WWE represented in some way. I was having lunch with my sister yesterday, and she is not a fan. But she was like, "Oh my God, yes, that's the hottest ticket. Like WWE stuff is the hottest ticket." Me and Latrice, my sister Letty, we want to go to Atlanta because Metro Boomin was in that commercial with Cody Rhodes, and like that's huge. Sexy Red being on NXT, Liv Morgan throwing a pitch at the baseball game, like the WWE Golden Title appearing at the Big 12 conference, or, with the NBA Finals trophy. Like, there's so many ways that WWE is just making its mark. You can literally find WWE everywhere now. So I love that because I love wrestling. And I think WWE is like never paid its due for like its popularity or the investment that people have. I work in media. I've pitched so many different wrestling things, and I feel like I always had to, like, half of my job was convincing people that like people cared about WWE superstars. And I think that is it's disappointing, but it's also silly because WWE has over 1 billion combined social media followers, and they have the most, I think, active audience of all sports as far as, social media, WWE having the finger on the pulse at all times. And then, of course, you add AEW. Say what you want about it. You might not watch it, but it is the highest quality alternative to WWE right now. And there's a lot of familiar faces in AEW, and they have followed the same footsteps as WWE when it came to the mainstream. I see people coming in. Thank you for joining me on Where WWE Meets Pop Culture Live. But we're going to kiki about all of the fun wrestling news that is happening outside of the ring that I particularly find interesting. So today's show is jam-packed. We have red carpet appearances. We got billionaire weddings. We have a lot going on tonight. But before we get into it, I want to start these shows. So this is ideally going to be every Monday. Before Raw. So it's going to be a pre-Raw show on the TWG network. And I don't even know if TWG network is an official thing, but I do know that we have weekly programming that I am so proud of. So I want this show to be anchored on Monday nights. This is what you get into before you watch Monday Night Raw. And then on Tuesdays, you tune in with Sandal for Watch What Happened NXT, NXT pre-show. And on Wednesdays, of course, you have the TWG Network mainstay, TWG Fan Club, our weekly fan club. We talk about a different wrestling topic every week, and it is really, really fun. So if you have not joined our fan club, please do. Matt is here. He is a VIP member, and he joins us every single week. He is family. I just noticed that your profile picture, Matt, is picture of me, you, Brian H. Waters. And I just have to say, I cannot say nicer things about Matt or Brian H. Waters. Two people that I genuinely really, 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 really love doing all this wrestling shit with. But yes, there's I'm excited about everything that we have going on. Of course, Thursdays we have Thirsty Thursday, once a month. Shout out to Pablo the Don, Christina, Justin, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, Justin. We love you. And Ciandol kind of comprises and Brian H. Waters comprises our TWG network. So this show will be the way to start the week. I want us to sit and chill and sip. I've been drinking Red Bull because I've been preparing for tonight's show, but I want us to just chill. If you're after work drinking some wine, or if it's, a hot cup of tea, we're going to kiki about what some of your favorite WWE and AEW wrestling superstars, let's say that. Wrestling superstars. We are going to get into what your favorite wrestling superstars are getting into outside of the ring. So, first off, I think I want to share what inspired me first this week, I think, because it is important to get outside of the wrestling bubble. Life recently has forced me to get out of every bubble I was ever in, whether that was wrestling or pop culture or this media shit and just everything. So I have taken a bit of a step back, but I think it's the best thing I could have ever done. To take 5 steps backward, to take 10 steps forward. I think it is fun and exciting now to get back into this bubble. But I really want to make sure that we kind of treasure life outside of wrestling. And I went to one of my oldest friend's baby showers a couple nights ago. And she's having twins, and that was a beautiful experience. And then right now I'm getting that same feeling with women's basketball that I got when I rediscovered women's wrestling. And that is just the overall shared enthusiasm that the popularity of this sport is elevated in the way that it is. There's more sponsorship dollars going into the league. They've added a team. My team, New York Liberty, shout out to my girls, Sabrina and Stewie, and of course the mascot, Big Ellie, who, I think, them being number 1 on the East, and they were on, I think, a 17-game winning streak at one point recently. So it has been a very, very fun ride. Yes, man. My dream is to go to Barclays Center to see a fucking Liberty game. I am manifesting that. Yes. Go Liberty. And then also just the media coverage now. It got controversial when the season started, but that's what we need. We need that kind of energy. So I'm very proud of that. And that's very inspiring. And then with the Knicks and Jalen Bronson making the sacrifice that he did to build a championship team. Okay, let's go Knicks. Let's go New York. I think New York just needs to collectively stand up, because this is our season right now. This is our time. Okay, I am so for this. See, okay, look, even Brian H. Waters is going for the Knicks. And who would have thought we would ever feel that way? But yes, I'm excited about the sports world in general. I am excited about where wrestling is going, of course. And I want to have the opportunity to share all of the fun news that trickles down, that nobody really pays attention to, but that is really, really, really fucking cool. So, shall we get into the show? So first, we have T-Pain, who is one of those diehard wrestling fans. And he has been posting a lot about wrestling recently. And I'm pretty sure that he's going to have a role in Bad Blood in Atlanta, because that is somewhere that he frequents. But he has been a wrestling fan for years now. Like, you go through his Twitter and he's always talking about wrestling, and we fucking love it. But he basically played with Xavier Woods and surprised him. Had a spinner belt, first of all. Like, can we replay that and play the sound so people can know what Xavier Woods was saying to him? Because I love these sort of interactions. Like, I really do. And like, the Newsday music is a vibe.
I don't know if you knew.
And I love Xavier Woods' reaction, because you could tell he just like did not see it coming. And if anyone knows, you can keep that up. If anybody knows our friend Wilkins, Sir Wilkins, like, that kind of look like that could be him in the back. Doesn't that look like that could be Sir Wilkins? Yo, I love it. But yeah, I love things like this because it just shows you that it doesn't matter like what, where you come from or anything. Like, wrestling is something that you're like always gonna love. Yes, Brian H. Yes, it definitely looks like a It's the glasses and the bald head. I love Mr. Black and Sir Wilkins from our Jobber Tears family. Actually, now that I say that, I want to give Justin another birthday shout out. Love you, babe. But also, Jobber Slam is happening August 23rd in Brooklyn. So I want to make sure you are there. I will link the ticket link in the description so you can buy a ticket and support. The card looks fucking sick. And you just want to support good people doing good shit in wrestling. And I love them for that. Okay, so let's get into what some of our favorite stars have been into. So I am still recuperating from the news that one of the GOATs, John Cena, is retiring. Oh, God. Okay, so he announced that or whatever, and which I love because he also announced that we get a whole calendar year of John Cena in WWE, and I am just going to appreciate it so much. But I also love that he is super busy outside of WWE. Like, he, after apologizing to The Rock, you know what I'm talking about, he is fully busy in Hollywood. Like, he is fully integrated into Hollywood. If you watch The Bear, please let me know because I am obsessed. And he was in season 3. Now, this is probably the show with the biggest hype right now. It's like the It Show. It did over 1 billion listening minutes streaming on Hulu. You heard that right. Over 1 billion minutes streamed of The Bear. And mind you, this only has 3 seasons and 10 episodes each at like maybe 40 minutes, maybe. So do you understand how many people have to be watching this show, which is fantastic? If I do say so myself, I love The Bear. It is so good. And if you've ever worked in a restaurant and restaurants in the building, hello. If you've ever worked in service, if you've ever worked in a restaurant, I suggest you watch The Bear because you just feel the camaraderie. Like, I almost miss it a little bit of that, like, high energy, high pressure. You got 1 second, you got one, you got like every second matter. Every second counts. And if you watch The Bear, you know that reference. But it is a fantastic show. And John Cena is in season 3 in an episode, and he is a part of the family. Like, he has a pretty, decent role. Like, this isn't, a guest role. Like, and he does very well, and he fits in, pretty well with some top-notch actors. So I am very impressed with where Cena has been going in his Hollywood career. So speaking of Hollywood careers, he was recently at what has been dubbed by the media as the wedding of the century. He attended the billionaire wedding of Anant Ambani, and he is the son of Indian businessman and billionaire Mukesh Ambani. Let me tell you, so he married Rahika Merchant, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing those names, but she also comes from a very prominent family. The groom's father is the richest man in Asia. And do you want to know how much this man is worth? 116 billion. Not a million, a billion. 116 billion is what this man is worth. His son got married over 4 days in a very extravagant fiesta, as you can imagine, in Mumbai. And John Cena attended along with other A-list celebrities like Kim Kardashian. I can't think of any of the celebrities that were there, but you know who was there. If you're going to think about freaking Indian celebrities, yes, the Great Khali was at this wedding. And I am not surprised that he was there because he is a pretty big deal in India, which is why for age world, he could buy world peace. Yes. With $116 billion, you can buy world peace. Absolutely. And I can only imagine how wealthy he seems or how extravagant these ceremonies were. I just think it's really cool that John Cena was at this event and he was able to beat John Cena. I think we have a video clip of him from at the event doing what he does, and I appreciate that because I'm pretty sure these celebrities got paid big money to be at this wedding. But yeah, so we're gonna find the video of John Cena living it up at this wedding. But I think it was really cool that we were able to see wrestling being represented at an event like this. Like I said before, the media is already dubbing it the there it is. I just love him. Just look at him. I just love him so much. You see, very well dressed. He had a couple different fits, so he probably went to a couple different engagements while he was there. But look, he even did it. Oh my God, I love you. See how humble he is? I mean, come on, like we have to give it up for John. Oh God, there he is. We gotta give it up for John Cena at all times. I'm gonna be a mess during the last year of Cena. I am already quoting that shit right now. The last year of Cena, Queen PR is going to be a mess. I cannot wait to just live it up and just anticipate seeing him for like so many, you know. So I want to get into the Receiver red carpet. Yeah, they do love the Great Khali over there, I will say. So I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna post the link to this private YouTube and just see if some other VIPs can join us while we kiki. I'm sure we have an ad we can play in the meantime. And send that link around. Send that DM around. Let's see. So one thing I am excited about, and what I will be recapping here every week, is the celebrities that show up on Raw, even whether it's in attendance, whether it's in a promo, whether it's backstage. I'm going to have a recap of all the celebrities that stepped foot on WWE television. So Raw, SmackDown, NXT, even AEW. You know, we are throwing AEW in the mix because you know what? In my renewed interest in the Monday Night Wars, I appreciate competition. Okay, I am all the way here for other people shaking it up to have everyone elevate their game because that is how the wrestling industry thrives. And I don't think I need to express how much able to coast on has thrived in recent time. Okay, so we are going to share this link. Okay, and we're gonna get more people in here to Kiki. Send that YouTube link over, and we're gonna see what we could do with this. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm already enjoying my Monday nights. Like my Monday nights are already gonna be it's gonna go from my last to my favorite day of the week. Oh wait, no shade to Wednesday, all my fan club people. No shade, no tea. I love y'all too. I love y'all too. Okay. Hold on, guys. So I was in the bar yesterday and I work with a bunch of European people. So I gotta say, I love watching like things that just like bring people together. And soccer is one of those things, like when you see it, like when the World Cup is happening, like you walk past places and there's people huddled around little TVs, and just it's like once if the world really feels international, like where we are all like people on this planet, you know, like it's weird, but I love that so, you know, like that thing that brings us all together. And sports does that, wrestling does that, and I have become such a sports girly recently, watching basketball, being excited about like the rankings and shit. It is very interesting, but I'm ready. Like I am fucking WNBA. I'm in those games. Liberty, I'm in those games. Matt, what's Cena in Miami? Let me know. And then we'll get into this next story. Okay. All right. So, you know, I love me a red carpet. I love seeing WWE superstars on the red carpet. So I know that this is becoming more frequent, but it will always pop me. Like I promise you, it will always pop me. So Liv Morgan, Bayley, Montez Ford, Bianca Belair, and Baron Corbin, and a few others hit the red carpet. Let's play that again. Looking gorgeous as always. So these are our champions. Like these are our women's champions representing WWE on a Netflix red carpet. Looking absolutely stunning. Okay, how are we feeling about who is representing the company right now? You could play that shit on a loop because it's giving me life. I love that these are the two women that are representing the company right now. It's so unique and different. It's not the usual. You know, it doesn't feel like the usual situation. It feels new and it feels fresh. So I don't think I need to tell you who styled these ladies, but let me give you a little information about the red carpet event that they were at and the premiere that they were attending. So The Receiver is a Netflix docuseries, a Netflix sports series. I think they're trying to kick off Netflix sports, so that's what a lot of their documentaries have been called. Here for it. And it's the same producers as Quarterback. It's the companion series to Quarterback. And Quarterback was a docuseries that followed 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. And it really highlighted the fact that the quarterback is the most important position in football. So what the receiver does is actually shows that the quarterback is nothing without the wide receiver. So this companion series follows 5 NFL players during the 2023 season. Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, Justin Jefferson. So one thing about him, 1, he's a cutie. 2, he was in a travel guide commercial, and it sounds so much better than what I'm saying, I promise you. But if you watch Hulu a lot, you've seen his commercial. He travels to Italy And he talked about how fulfilling it is to visit the country after you've read about it in this travel guide. And I will try to find out all the info and put it in the description. But it's a beautiful commercial because I am such a avid, I'm going to call myself an avid traveler because I travel all over for like wrestling shows. And that's something that's like really special to me. And that commercial like connects you to why it's special to travel. So the receiver is featuring him. Amonra, St. Brown. Let's see, my producer is always coming through. He plays for the Detroit Lions. He's in it. And then George Kittle rounds out the cast in this show. We know who John Kittle is because he is one George Kittle. He plays for the 49ers. And that is, of course, Bayley's favorite team, being from San Francisco. No, she's from the Bay. But she loves that team. She has taken photos with George Kittle. He's been to games. He's been to shows. He's gotten mixed up with on SmackDown. You can see him here with one of the legacy belts. So George Kittle is WWE family at this point, and he is a huge fan, to say the least. So he is in the show. So Bayley and the crew went to go to the premiere. And I want to go back to that group photo on the red carpet. This is representation. Like, look at first of all, look at my WWE. Like, we have to unpack. Shall we unpack this? First of all, this is the red carpet premiere of a Netflix original series, and WWE is there represented, looking. Everyone is 10 out of 10, and we will get into what everybody is wearing. Best believe we will get into what everybody's wearing. But also just the representation, the championship belts. Like, this is special. This is a huge moment. So you got Bayley, you got Kathy Kelly, George Kittle, NFL player, Baron Corbin, who looks great in a suit, Montez Ford. Look at the material. Him and Bianca Belair, like, look at the material. I don't even have to say anything. Like, look at the material. And then you got Liv Morgan, who I think is WWE's red carpet princess. Yes, I said it. She is the MVP. She shuts shit down. And we will talk about her looks. But her and Bayley were styled by King Troy. And Bayley is wearing this red dress. And I don't know if I have if I put Carmella's comment on one of the slides for the show, but she even was looking at Bayley's dress, her in that dress, and just being like, yes, Lord. She captioned on one of Bayley's photos, "Thank you for blessing us with these photos of you, this dress, honey boo, phew," with the hot emoji. And I gotta say, Bayley looks amazing. I love her shoes. And I gotta say, you know what my girl is wearing? Do you know what my girl is wearing? My girl is wearing Balmain. Okay, this is this is not like, Balmain. She is wearing high fashion. And of course, King Troy styled her to the gods. He has a really amazing way of dressing superstars, like, in their personality, but like not doing too much, but also like something new. Because I don't think this is something Bayley would pick out for herself. She'd probably be a little bit more dressed down. But when you have a really good stylist like you do with King Troy, they're really able to kind of bring you out of your comfort zone, but also it feels very authentic to you. She looks amazing. So she also has on, let's see, what shoes does she have on? Okay, it doesn't say her shoes in King Troy's credits, but I do like the gold with the red and the gold championship belt. It like looks amazing. Liv Morgan is wearing Saint Laurent classic. She has the tights, the black shoes, the hairstyle. Everything speaks to what that. I don't know if it's a 2-piece or 1-piece, but everything speaks to that. And that is why King Troy is the best stylist out there, and everyone should fucking hire him because he is amazing. So let me know if you've watched Quarterback on Netflix. Do you plan on watching Receiver on it? Because Sports Illustrated has already dubbed it, said Netflix Receiver will have you begging for football season to get here. So, I mean, it's America, and, if it's something that gets you excited about football, I mean, there's nothing more American than that. So Bayley is your crush, Matt. I get it. How do we feel about, okay, so Matt is watching it. How do we feel about Nia Jax making, a light joke about Bayley possibly getting a BBL? How do we feel about that being even like on WWE TV? How are we feeling about that? Because, I'm very sensitive to how like women are talked about, and I feel like Bayley is not someone that wants attention on her body, and I think she's been intentional about that. So I'm very curious to how she feels about, the concept of her getting a BBL being talked about. But she did retaliate on social media and say all natural or something to that extent. And girl, we know it is all natural and we love it. And girl, do you. We love that for you. So I want to talk about who did Bayley's glam, her hair and makeup. When I say glam, Brian H. Brothers, we all been looking at Bayley and Nia said what everyone has been saying. Yeah, we do take a peek at the cheeks. In all due respect, Bayley has that all natural, beautiful body, and we like, we appreciate it. I would like to think it is her wrestling ability and her overall greatness at being a WWE superstar is why her meet and greet sell out. But I get what you're saying. But I like highlighting, and that is another thing that we're going to do on the show every week, is highlighting the glam squad behind WWE superstars, because now that they are more in the mainstream, having a glam squad to be able to market yourself on social media is a huge part of everything. And a lot of my girls have makeup artists and hairstylists, etc. And then even WWE has been able to bring some in. And yes, Bayley has awesome aura. So this is one of the makeup artists that do up the WWE girls. I love that he calls himself an artist. He does hair and makeup. And his handle is Ian Maxion. And he's done Bianca Belair's makeup for this premiere. We have to take a look at this. I mean, look at the gorgeous, who is, oh my God, whose face card is touching Bianca Belair's face card? I mean, gorgeous. Yes, we could definitely play that again. So he did Bianca's hair and makeup. He's done Jackie Redmond's makeup, who is one of the new commentators on WWE. And yes, we do. Rhea's makeup is always on point. She could definitely sell a makeup palette. Let me know if you agree with me. Rhea Ripley can sell one of those gothic black lipstick type palettes, and that shit will sell out because she always looks so good. But he also did, I thought this was a fun little tidbit, but he also did Chelsea Green's makeup and hair for Money in the Bank in her hometown. And this look, we're going to take a second though and just appreciate Chelsea Green, because she has been killing it lately. And I always knew that she had this in her. And if you are an avid TWG listener, you know that I have been talking about the potential that Chelsea Green has since before she even got signed to WWE, because I stumbled across a fucking rabbit hole of hot mess Chelsea Green, and I was like, okay, this is like the coolest thing ever. And when she got signed, I was excited, and when she married Matt Cardona, it was just like, it's all destined to be, and she's Canadian, so I'm so hyped for her, and she is such a talent. She has great character work. She is a fantastic hardcore wrestler. Like, she is hardcore. All these girlies that was fucking on the indies, that next round of girls that were on the indies are hardcore. Like, they do it all. Like, and Chelsea does, my dad is a huge fan, and he was like, wow, like, I always liked Chelsea Green. I always thought he was pretty. He's also obsessed with brunettes. Funny brunettes. And he was like, her going through those tables, like, I have a huge respect for her. And I was like, yo, that's what she's done these crazy spots before. So I love that the casual fans are now falling in love with Chelsea Green, and that they were rooting for her heavy to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. I do see why she didn't, but she was definitely my contender to win. So yeah, Ian Maxion did her makeup as well, and I'm pretty sure we're going to be featuring him more on the show because he does fantastic work. So next, so I thought this was cool. One, because I am a dunking queen, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I am obsessed. Me and the love of my life, Brian H. Waters, we are obsessed with Dunkin'. Like, when we travel, we are literally like, where is the closest Dunkin'? Like, because that is going to shape our fucking day. And I want one of these. Like, we need to be recognized as well. I do see that it's probably a Boston thing. So this is Tommaso Ciampa. And it was one of my favorites in NXT. So he is currently the tag team champion with Johnny Gargano. I hope that he turns on him at some point. But right now they are living it up, and I'm proud of them. But he showed up to SmackDown, I want to say, or maybe even Raw, in this Dunk King's suit. And the reason why I have it on Pop Culture was because it is based on other Boston natives like Ben Affleck, and I forgot I can't think of his friend's name, his writing partner. And then you got Tom Brady. So they are representing. They had a funny Super Bowl commercial, and that is where this comes from. So the fact that he's even wearing that is really, really dope. So I want to shout out to him. And all this is all like the crossovers between brands. Like, this is the stuff that I live for and I love to see. I know it's for later in the show, but I do want to quickly point out that you can go to Bojangles and get a WWE commemorative cup. I think they have the Undertaker, Dudley Boys, the Hart Foundation, and I forgot which other one that you can get. Brothers of Destruction. So you got Undertaker and Kane, and then the Outsiders. So this is okay. There you go. Oh, yay! So what I love about these crossovers, and I was just in Charlotte and I could have easily got Bojangles, is that so many people that live out of state, because Bojangles is southern as fuck, hit me up like, oh my God, like, what you can get at Bojangles? And I'm like, yeah, give me this one. So I got 4 different people, shout out to my Charlotte fam, getting me different ones. So hopefully next time I go see my family, I have like 4 cups that I can bring home and give to the fam. So I just love this kind of stuff. And this is the stuff that you like keep forever. Like, if you go in, me and Letty's cabinet, like, there's Disney commemorative cups from McDonald's from when we were like less than 10 years old. And that's the stuff that you like just never get rid of. But I love these crossovers. We're gonna see so much more of it. What have been some of your favorite crossovers? Because we've had more and more of the brand deals. We've had Prime becoming the first energy drink partner. We've had the sponsored matches that have gotten mixed reviews, but the money that brings in, and I think the merger with UFC boxing, that's sponsorship driven. So there has always been a logo in the middle of the ring from as long as I can remember. Everything was always branded. And now WWE, I don't think they didn't do that in the past. Having the logo in the ring is definitely something that was different, but it's definitely something that shows like, okay, this is where UFC and WWE are now kind of mending or merging their marketing strategies. And I talk about it all the time. If you want to do a case study on marketing, fucking study WWE, because they are the best at it. But we could go on to the next story, because this is where AEW does something very, very right. And I think the way they have handled Brodie Lee's passing has been very, very, very commendable. Like, they have honored him in a lot of ways, because he was one of the mainstays of AEW in the very beginning. And it was a huge loss when he passed. It was unexpected, of course, and a tragedy. So I want to, before we even talk about this story, but we'll take a quick break, and we'll get into it.
My dad's legacy wasn't just the wrestler, but the man. Everything he was lives in us, and we honor that legacy every day. Champ Sports has given my brother and I the opportunity to continue that legacy. We helped design this Reebok sneaker, which details moments from his life and career. Our family will be donating 100% of the royalties from this sneaker to Highmark Caring Place, an organization which represents my dad's legacy of kindness, compassion, and community by providing comfort and healing to those coping with the loss of a friend or family member. Highmark Caring Place has proven to be an invaluable support system and holds a special place in our family's hearts.
That is beautiful. And like I was saying before, the way they handled his legacy, having his son be featured so prominently, taking care of his family, his wife, Amanda, it's a beautiful thing. The wrestlers have really taken him under his wing, including Cody Rhodes, and have really just kind of uplifted this family in such a dark time. I love that. But I was very gagged about Reebok collaborating with AEW to make a line of sneakers in honor of Brodie Lee, and they're actually pretty cute. Like, I love purple. I love that deep purple. Shout out to the Ravens. But it's gore. The sneaker is subtle, but it also has a lot that represents him. So there's a lot of details in there. Sayings like "forever in our hearts," Brodie with a heart on the soles. Hey, Rikarsha. Hey, girl. So I don't know if you knew this, but AEW and Reebok collaborated to honor Brodie Lee with this signature sneaker. So they really did a lot to honor him. So they have a portrait of him in the right sole, the print of the bandana he wore throughout his career, the Dark Order emblem, the nod to Brodie Lee's jacket on the heel of the sneaker, and a quote from him. And the writing is really small, but it's a beautiful quote about professional wrestling. Really, really cool sneaker. I love that they're doing this. The proceeds are going to a nonprofit organization, which I think is also just amazing. And look at this. So as this, I call myself a sneakerhead, but like there's a lot more. But if we could go back to just looking at the sneaker as a whole, because I am such a fan of the classics that like I'm not a fan of a lot of like new sneaker designs. Like I'm an old lady. So, but I gotta say, I really like these. The AEW logo is subtle, and also like this is a flex. Like, shout out to AEW on this, and just how cool this is to honor Brodie Lee's legacy. I remember wrestling fans worked themselves into a shoot because they thought, I don't know even where they got this from, that Roman Reigns was having like a bloodline Jordan come out, and it was just like, no, like Jordan sent him gear for WrestleMania, a custom jacket, sneaker, a couple sneakers, like all that. And because of how we us wrestler fans are, but no, Jordan was not making a bloodline Jordan, but they did have a sneakers called Bloodline, and they happen to be black and red, and people just went crazy. So that is not true and accurate, but this is a very valid sneaker collaboration, and it is available now. Is a collaboration with Champs. And if I can just get the nonprofit that it supports, you can get them now. A lot of the AEW superstars did a meet and greet in a couple of Champ stores in the last couple of weeks. Of course, Big E, one of Brodie Lee's dearest friends, and I know from his social media that his death hit him very, very hard. And he got a pair, and he tweeted, "What a beautiful tribute to an amazing human. Thank you to his wife, for making sure his legacy remains strong. And Brodie Lee's wife responded with "Love you endlessly," and I love that support there. And yeah, cop the sneakers if you know, support the organization and Brodie Lee's legacy. I love it. So next story we have for this edition of Where WWE Meets Pop Culture Live. I'm going to make that a thing. I promise you. So Big E, one of my favorite humans in the whole world, and Bron Breakker was at the Big 12 conference media day. So a lot of fun facts about this media day. So first off, I had to fucking ask my producer what the Big 12 conference was because I'm a sports girly, y'all, but like I'm a new sports girly, so I need like a little like refresher or whatever. But it is the conference for college football. But this is a kind of new, fresh start for the Big 12 because I think they added teams and it's going to be like in more cities and stuff like that. But it's also the first Big 12 conference media day in Vegas. So as you know, Vegas is the hot spot right now. WrestleMania is going to be there. They were at the Allegiant Stadium and also the Las Vegas Convention with the Golden title and also this replica title. Bron Breakker, I think, is a good person to also do these things with Big E. Big E did play ball in college, and he's just so good at these media events. We could just go through some more of these photos. What? Bron Breakker played for the Baltimore Ravens and got cut. Okay, so my producer is telling me that. Also, love saying my producer. Played for. So he is a football player. He fucking looks like one. And so yeah, I guess this is good that he was there. That's like the story. Like niggas want to play football, then they get cut, and then it's like, oh, wrestling. But you know what? Then hold that there. You know, he comes from wrestling, so that's always the next. You know, that's like The Rock. Like it's like, okay, well, Roman Reigns. Like, okay, football did hit. Then it's time. Maybe I will, man. Maybe I will. Maybe I can ask you some questions about college ball, and you could keep me in the loopity loop. But a lot of people were reposting this photo and saying, like, is this the future? You know, like, is Bron Breakker the next champion? Like, is this coming next and all that shit? I want to know, do you guys see Bron Breakker as a future world champion? Y'all know how I am. Y'all know how I feel about world champions. I am not always one to just say everybody and their fucking mother needs to be one. So that's never the first thing on my mind. You have to do a lot to sell me on that. And he has not even scratched the fucking surface. But do you guys see this in Bron Breakker's future? What? Brian H. Schroeder says, I had him penciled to beat Roman in 2026. That is a really bold statement, my boy. But let me run through these stories because I do want this to be a show that you can watch right before Raw. So maybe we'll start a little earlier next week. But our next story is, you know what, let's talk about the new video game because I know our listeners love video games. Okay, so Rakarsha says that in the future he's still young. You're right. And let's watch this future world champion and Big E play EA Sports College Football 25. You can tell Big E grew up in church. Look at those shoes. Look at that outfit. It's okay. Look, I like the innocent church boy look. So I'm here for it. So yeah, so they are playing EA Sports College Football 25. Now I remember EA Sports when I was younger. Like it was one of the, you know, other video games I was played like about sports. And I didn't realize that it had been 11 years since an EA Sports game has come out. And Big E tweeted for college football, 11 years. And Big E was very excited about it. He called it his favorite video game. He was like, you can even see in this video that he is very, very excited that it's back. So it is being released this week. So if you are a fan, I have linked the game in our description so you can buy it. There's a deluxe version, there's an MVP bundle. You know, it's all. The cost of this game is $69.99. The deluxe edition is $99.99, and the MVP bundle is $149. Thank you, Yahoo Business, for keeping me up to date on that. So if you want to buy this game, it is on sale now. You can play it. Actually, no, it's not on sale now. It's on sale for special people that have the Connect, but it will be available on Friday. You can buy it, you can download it, you can do all that and play in all these different versions. And you can be like Big E and Bron Breakker and play this game. So if you remember EA Sports games, put it in the comments because I love being nostalgic. And when I seen that logo, that EA Sports logo, it brought back some nostalgia for me. So go pick up that video game. I didn't even like, yeah. But I think, is that all our stories? We have more. We have more. So you're probably wondering why there's a photo of the Garcia twins, Nikki and Brie, and Liv Morgan in Hooters uniforms. But that is because Liv Morgan, no. Nikki and Brie recently did an interview, and they talked about how Hooters kind of prepared them to enter the WWE. And if you know their story, they did work at Hooters, and you can see these photos and this collage. And they did fall back in love with wrestling working there because they would play the pay-per-views. They would have pay-per-view watch parties there, and they realized like, oh shit, like this is cool as fuck. I am athletic and I'm beautiful. And they were inspired by the Divas. You know, they were like, oh, well, you could be hot and aggressive, and they came into their own, you know, working there in a sense of being able to handle themselves and be independent and make their own money. And I talked about earlier, working in service, you really learn a lot about life and just how the world works and people, and having to kind of objectify yourself, but also be protective of yourself at the same time. You know, learning that, I think, was like probably the best thing that they could have done to get them ready for, like, you know, the Divas era and entering WWE. But Liv Morgan also worked at Hooters, and she would watch, and people realized that she was a fan of wrestling working there as well. And you just never know where life can take you, and sometimes it can be a job. So never you know, look down on anyone's like choice of work. And, you know, I'm sure they made that money because all three of them are hot and they're amazing athletes, and they have really already, like, Liv is already making her way into being like a future. Oh my God, wait. Is Liv Morgan a future Hall of Famer? I don't know. I was going to say it, but I don't know if that's true. Let me know. Do you guys think Liv Morgan is a future Hall of Famer? It is a question I don't think I have ever seen asked before. So okay, so all right, Matt. See, this is why Matt was invited to the party, because he's getting into the spiciness that I be wanting to get into, and that's why I want to do this show. So Bron Breakker did post a photo with Izzy Dame, and I think they are together, but also here's some tea. You know, he was with Cora Jade a little while ago. Cora Jade and Izzy Dame unfollowed each other. I don't know who unfollowed who first. I know this is super like petty or whatever, but ex-girlfriend unfollowed current girlfriend, vice versa, on Instagram. And Cora J already moved on. She moved on pretty quick. So I don't know, you know, if she would be the one that was pressed. I don't know. But on another note, Brian H. Waters says that Liv Morgan is a first ballot for the Hall of Fame. Okay. All right. We'll see about that. But let's just run through these stories so you guys can watch Raw. So Bad Blood is happening in Atlanta. I will do all I can to be there with my twin sister. Okay, so Matt, I'm glad you brought up Love Island because I forgot to mention that Nikki and Brie are hosting the official Love Island podcast. So if you are obsessed with Love Island, like most people are, then, and that is what NXT feels like. There's about 11, 12 couples in NXT right now. So it could definitely feel that way, guys. But they're hosting the official podcast for it. So I think that's really, really dope. I also want to shout out Westside Gunn, who owns Fourth Rope, who has been doing a lot for the business. He's been sponsoring wrestlers. He has been hosting shows. He's hosting another art, pro wrestling, and culture show with live performances and surprise guests starring Jay Worthy during SummerSlam weekend after doing one in Philly for WrestleMania weekend. So get your tickets now. He has been dropping merch. He has a Fourth Rope Championship. He is doing so get your tickets. So let's go into I will let you guys go into Raw. So the last story, which I think is pretty cool, is the Wyatt Six left Pat McAfee a VHS tape during the Pat McAfee show, which I think is brilliant. And Pat McAfee is bringing it with him to Raw, I believe. But I couldn't help but notice that he has it buckled up in what looks like a seat on a private jet. So, okay, is Pat McAfee traveling on a private jet? Because I need to know, because that is also a flex. And that is goals. Hashtag goals. I'm trying to be on a fucking private jet from one of my lucrative jobs to one of my other fucking lucrative jobs. Okay, let's make that fucking happen. But if Pat McAfee is on the jet, shout out to him. And also, I'm scared because everything the Wyatt Six is scary. And I love it because I love these kind of thrills. And I miss Bray Wyatt. And I love all of this so much. So I will let everyone go to watch Raw. But I want to thank everyone for tuning into the pilot episode of Where WWE Meets Pop Culture live with me, Queen PR, every Monday night before Raw. And we get into all the fun wrestling news from outside of the ring. We keep up with what your favorite wrestlers are up to outside of the ring. And we give you all the top rope tea. So I will see all of you next Monday night. And please, if you like the show, tweet about it, comment on Instagram, let people know where to find us. So it'll be every Monday night on Twitch, YouTube, and on Twitter Spaces. And I cannot wait to keep doing this. And I love you all and enjoy Raw. And give me some tips. If y'all see stories that you want us to talk about, send it my way because we will talk about them. Thank you, Rakarsha. This was for a very special group of people. This is for our patrons, our day ones. And I'm so happy to share this with all of you. And I love you all. See you next week.